Yeah, ain't shit sweet, ain't shit funny. Look, it's blue tints on my hundreds. Life been going how I want it. Yeah. Life been lit just how I want it. Yeah. Now she talking like she want me. Yeah. Hey, wave.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Cold Hard Football Facts Show for August 31st, 2022. My name is Tanner Kern, host of the show here, content creator at Cold Hard Football Facts. Hope you're doing well and hope you're ready to talk some NFL football for the next 30 minutes or so. Welcome to the show on TikTok and YouTube, guys. It is a great day to have a day. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hopefully we can win some bets in the Major League Baseball, and then we'll carry that right into college football this weekend. And then finally, 1 week away, 1 week, stay calm, stay locked in, 1 week. From tomorrow, we have NFL football back. A lot of fun stuff is happening right now across the league. Teams can start claiming off the waiver wire. We talk about fantasy football, how important the waiver wire is. It's even more important for these teams in real life. Obviously, they're going to start getting their crack at it here. Right now, actually, 12 o'clock, they were able to start claiming people. So we'll have some news rolling in during the show, I'm sure. How we doing on TikTok and YouTube, people? We'll get to some comments here. Baseball comments coming in here. Niners minus 6.5 is a steal. Who's winning the NFC East? It's going to come down to the Cowboys and the Eagles. We're actually going to talk about both those teams on the show a little bit today. Can the Eagles find a way to catch the Cowboys in the NFC East? I believe they can. He's making it to the semis at least. Who are we talking about? We talking tennis in there? What are we talking about? Need a bet for the Astros game. Take the Nerfy and Astros money line. I'm on the Nerfy in that one. I would also go Astros money line there as well. So Rondo, you have a hot take. Rondo coming in here on TikTok. Get your hot take out. I want to hear about the Pittsburgh Steelers. What are they going to do this season? Let me know in the comment section. So on the show today, guys, we are going to talk about some of the stuff that happened with the 53-man roster cuts. Alex Leatherwood getting cut. Josh Rosen getting cut again. It's amazing what happens with these like first round busts. It's amazing how they find a way back onto a team, right? But then they get cut. It's crazy to me. And then we're going to talk about the NFL end of season awards, some of the best future bets, and we're also going to talk about the Cowboys today. So if you have Cowboys questions and comments, make sure you put them in the chat. Rondo, I am waiting for your big Pittsburgh Steelers take that I wanted to get yesterday, but you didn't show up and give it to me. So I want it today. But anyways, guys, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Cold Hard Football Facts. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you go up. You can watch over on YouTube. We got our fancy graphics here. As you can see, they look pretty beautiful to me. And then you can also go to coldhardfootballfacts.com. Check out all the subscription-based content we have on there and our free content. Start your free trial today, guys. The season is kicking off soon. We're going to have a big launch after Labor Day for our new website. So we are super pumped about that. So make sure you stay tuned. Follow Cold Hard Football Facts on Twitter for updates, and obviously on TikTok because you're getting to see me every single day of the week, people. How we doing? It's a great day. Okay. Niners have interior O-line problems. Cowboys outside O-line problems. The Cowboys do have some outside O-line problems with Tyron Smith. With his injury, it's really going to hurt them. You're going to move Tyler Smith out to tackle. There's going to be ways to run away from Tyler Smith. You can run. Rookie offensive linemen are typically better at run blocking. They can get down, they can put their hand in the dirt, and they can get after people. So you might want to run at him, but you're going to have to boot away from him with that Dak Prescott. Also, the Cowboys don't have a quarterback right now, a backup quarterback, I should say. They're going to get someone back, so stay calm. If you're a Cowboys fan, you're like, why don't we have a backup quarterback? But still, interesting moves by them in the 53-man roster cuts. Bucs O-line is demolished, but they also have the best quarterback in the game still. I mean, the best quarterback when it comes to getting rid of the football and protecting yourself. Tom Brady does that very well. He gets rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds. They can make up for it a little bit. Now, running the ball, it's going to be a different story behind Leonard Fournette with this offensive line currently. You must not be paying attention to Niners camp. What are we talking about in here? Not talking about Niners have interior O-line problems. Cowboys, the Niners have a quarterback problem. I think that's their biggest thing, but they're in the best shape because they have Jimmy Garoppolo waiting in the wings. The Niners do have offensive line problems. I totally agree with that. Interior offensive line problems. He's not wrong about that, Rondo. He's not. The Niners do have interior offensive line problems. That's everyone is talking about that on NFL Network, NFL Radio. Beat writers out in San Francisco. He's not wrong about that. They do have some interior issues there. I think they have the skill talent to make up for it, though. Well, let's go. What up, Sharky? What up, Sharky? I saw your comment on my big. Video that got posted. It was pretty funny. I was laughing at it. Steelers top 5 offense this season. Rondo. First, you come on here and you don't listen to me saying that the Dodgers have a chance tonight with plus money against Jacob deGrom, and now you're telling me the Steelers are going to have a top 5 offense. They don't even know who their starting quarterback is going to be. How are they going to have a top 5 offense? Don't get that out of here. Come on, get that out of here. Diggs has been getting burnt in practice. Yeah, guys, I think we've all seen the clip of Trayvon Diggs getting burnt on the deep ball early in camp. It has continued a little bit. The Cowboys have bigger issues, I think, than that in the secondary. I think they're going to have issues with their wide receiver core. I think getting rid of Amari Cooper was not the move. Gallup's obviously going to come back. At what point is he going to come back, though? I think the offense is not going to be the high-powered offense that we saw last year. I think they're going to be good, but are they going to be great and get to the top of this division? I don't know. Okay, let's see here. That's crazy. Game one here. Novik broke Cairo. Stiggs has been getting burnt in practice. Steelers top 5 offense. Novak, you guys are talking tennis. Where did you play your high school football at? Xavier High School in Connecticut. Trayvon Diggs, overrated. Your opinion on it? I think he can make great plays. I think he also makes bad plays. So when I look at a top-tier defender, I want to see a guy who can be consistent throughout a game, not make the superstar interception, but then get beat over the top. With Trayvon Diggs, you get a little bit of a mix. You get a guy who can play great defense. He can make super plays, but he's also going to get beat over the top consistently, and that's an issue for the Dallas Cowboys. If you look at their secondary based on our metrics for the Cold Hard Football Facts last year, they were actually pretty good when it came to defensive real quarterback rating, which is how well a defense defends an opposing quarterback. It's critical because if you can shut down a passing game, you're going to have a lot of success in the NFL. Diggs was a big part of that last year, but he also does get beat, and that's the question. Consistency. What are you going to get out of him, and how consistent is he going to be? If he is, they have a great chance of being good on defense this year. If not, the offense is really going to step up, and then you have these issues with their receiving core for the Dallas Cowboys, which we're going to break down in a minute. But you only have one productive wide receiver returning, at least on opening day. Michael Gallup's not going to be there. Obviously, you have CeeDee Lamb. That's the guy that you're going to look at. Is there going to be too much pressure on him? Are the Cowboys going to be able to spread the ball around? We will see. But CeeDee Lamb's going to play a big role. It's going to allow defenses to key on him. I think there's just so many issues with this Cowboys team right now, and it all comes down to them not doing enough in the offseason, and that pretty much half of Cowboys Nation is already calling for Mike McCarthy's head. So we can break that down when we talk about the Cowboys a little more. Eagles, 49ers, Titans, Colts, Browns, all week one locks. Well, Browns week one lock is a big statement there, because I think Baker Mayfield's going to come to town and light some people up in Carolina. When Baker's playing at the top of his game, he's actually very good, guys. We go back to 2020 when he led Cleveland to the playoffs. He's a talented quarterback, so just keep that in mind. Salt Dog in the house, been gone for a couple days. What's up, Terry? What's up, Terry? How we doing? Eagles line improved, top O line in football. I don't think they're the top O line in football, but they're a top 5 offensive line for sure. They're definitely up there in the mix when it comes to the best offensive lines in the game. We look at our numbers last year. Kansas City Chiefs had the best offensive line according to Offensive Hog Index, which is what we use at Cold Hard Football Facts. Basically measures rush yards per attempt, negative pass play percentage, and third down success rate. So the Chiefs were there, the Bills, Eagles, Colts, and Cowboys. I think you're going to have that success there. The Cowboys are probably going to drop a little bit. They haven't had Tyron Smith for a while, honestly. He hasn't been able to play a full season in many years, but I don't think they did enough in the offseason to replace him injury-wise. I don't know how Tyler Smith's going to fare out. He's a rookie from a mid-major school. Mitch, when we trust. Mitch, I can't say, you saying that Mitch Trubisky, he's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but saying Mitch Trubisky is going to lead them to being a top 5 offense, I think that's a bit of a stretch. If you look at, say what you want, I think Mitch Trubisky is in better shape with this offense than Ben Roethlisberger was, because he couldn't move. He wasn't mobile. This offensive scheme, they want to move the quarterback a little bit. Ben could not move the pocket. Mitch Trubisky can, but top 5 is a little bit extreme. Tight end Schultz is no scrub. Dalton Schultz is no scrub. I agree with that, Terry. He's going to be good. Let's see here. Diggs will be fine. Everyone gets cooked in camp. Oregon Ducks winning the AFC. Oregon Ducks winning the AFC with Justin Herbert. Wouldn't surprise me. You only want to talk football. And here I really only want to talk football, NFL football, guys. But again, we can talk about anything you want briefly at the end. How about them Bears? I think, you know what? The Bears should give the Niners a little trouble week one. I do think the Niners cover. I do. I think the Niners get the job done. But the Bears might give them just a little bit of trouble, I think. That could be a hot take, but I really do. I never get the notification. You got to turn notifications on, DOS. Come on. Dak, Lamb, Gallup, all banged up too. Boys in trouble this year on O, poverty. Let's see here. Zeke holding back that O. Pollard should start. Guys, you need a 2-horse race. You need 2 guys in the backfield getting after it to have success in the NFL, in my opinion. We look at Todd Gurley. Where's Todd Gurley? Nowhere to be found, right? Because he gets so many carries early in his career. He's not there yet. You look at Zeke Elliott when he was in 2-horse. When he has Tony Pollard, if they're both working together, it's going to be a better fit than just hammering the rock with Zeke and him getting tired, him getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going here. Najee Harris, rushing champ this year. I think the Steelers have too many offensive line issues for that to be the case. Last year, the Steelers ranked Let's see what the Steelers ranked in our offensive line rating. 16th in our offensive line rating. They weren't good. They weren't good at all. So I don't think that's going to be the case, no. I think Najee's going to have a great year. I think he's a good fantasy back, but I don't think he's the man that's going to lead the league in rushing just because of his offensive line. You need a great offensive line and a great running back to be successful. We look at Zeke without an offensive line. What has he done over the past few years? Not as much as what he did earlier in his career. Steelers are improved this year. Mitch is a top 20 quarterback. Mitch hasn't even stepped foot on the field. He's led a 2-minute drill. Or no, he won a game in the preseason, and then he had a 2-minute drill, and that's what we're calling Mitch a top 20 quarterback, Rondo. That's not true. We can't say he's top 20 quarterback right now. We haven't seen what he can do. I can't call anyone in the NFL top 20 until they step foot on the field and win a football game. He's not even going to be the starting quarterback. Oh, wait, we're talking Mitch Trubisky. Oh, you're talking Mitch. My bad. I had a brain fart. I thought you were talking Kenny Pickett. And Mitch Trubisky doesn't even matter. Kenny Pickett's going to be the starting quarterback halfway through. I think Mitch is a top 20 quarterback in the NFL. I think he's going to be okay. But the Steelers, their defense is going to have to keep them in games. That's what's going to make them special this year, if they can get to a point where we're talking about them competing for the AFC North. But in that division, it's the Ravens, it's the Bengals, people. The run game in football is non-existent. The run game in football, I wouldn't say it's non-existent. The best teams are the ones that are able to run the football. Steelers look improved this year. It could be Jonathan Taylor again, to be honest. It probably could be. I mean, when you look at the AFC South with the Colts, the teams that they have to go against, it's not the best defenses in the world, right? And on top of that, Jonathan Taylor can pound the rock. He's also great catching the ball in the backfield. Does Cooper Kupp score in the first game of the season? I think you got to go with Cooper Kupp to score. What's his anytime touchdown? Plus 130, plus 140? I think you got to go with it. Jalen Waddle takes work from Najee, or Jalen Warren takes work from Najee this year, has ridiculous usage last year. Do you see the Giants doing anything? I can't see the Giants doing much. No, I really can't. I mean, how can you? Right? A new coach, I think, is going to help, but Daniel Jones has not been good. I need to see him not make mistakes with the football. When he makes mistakes, that's his biggest issue, right? It's not that he can't throw it. He can spin it, but the mistakes have been killer for the Giants for the past few years. How about the Raiders? Listen, if you want to make a risk bet right now, if you want to take a risk, take the Las Vegas Raiders at plus 700 to win the AFC West. Oh, you might be calling me crazy. The Chiefs have won that division every year. Then you got the golden boy, Justin Herbert in LA. And then you also got Russell Wilson going to Denver. But if you want to take a little risk for great value at plus 700, 7-1 people, take the Las Vegas Raiders to win that division. Nobody's talking about how good Derek Carr is. Derek Carr can sling it. He's got Devontae Adams. He's got Darren Waller. He's got a great run game behind Josh Jacobs and Josh McDaniels calling the plays there. Josh Jacobs is a bell cow back. He can do it all, and he will do it all for the Raiders this year. They made room to give more carries to Josh Jacobs. They also have a great running back room behind him. I think this team could be pretty special this year. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Plus 700, that's an absolute steal in my opinion. Tyrod Taylor will be starting by week 6 for the New York Giants from Das Diggity in there. Wouldn't surprise me. Raiders defense stinks. I don't know, man. The Raiders defense looks really good in preseason right now. I think it's a different attack. You got Max Crosby out there. They're going to be just fine. I wouldn't say stinks. Carr is mid. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the NFL, but he can sling it. He's good enough to win football games. We saw what he did down the stretch last year, leading the Raiders. The Raiders were a 10-win team last year. They got hot at the end of the season. Do I think the Chargers got better? Yes, but I think the Raiders are still going to be very talented. Speaking the truth, go Raiders. There you go. For plus 700, I think that's disrespectful. I think the Broncos end up last in that division. For plus 700, you're telling me not giving me the Raiders at that with a new, they got the excitement of Las Vegas. You got Josh McDaniels there. It's tough for a team to obviously, do something with a first-year head coach, but Josh McDaniels worked under Bill Belichick. If anyone can do it, I would take him. It's preseason. I know it's preseason, but still the defense looks good. Well, you're saying the same thing about, Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky and all that. They look good in the preseason. It's the freaking preseason. Bold prediction. They should look good in the preseason. Everyone's playing vanilla coverage. Bold prediction, Bucks versus Cardinals, NFC Championship. The Cardinals always start hot and then they fade. I don't see anything with the Cardinals this year. Raiders and Broncos, legit. I think they're definitely a force in the back of that division within the AFC West. It's going to be interesting there. Raiders barely made the playoffs, but they made it. The Raiders made it, though. They barely, but they made it. Come on, Rondo. Rondo, you got so many damn hot takes. Half of them aren't even relevant. Come on. Raiders beat the Chargers last year to make the playoffs. They did, and that's going to be a great opening game, too. I believe is it the Sunday night game or the Monday night game? Raiders versus Chargers should be a lot of fun there. Comments rolling in here. I'm a Bills fan, but for the value, I put a sprinkle on them to win the AFC. There you go. Grant Mitchell coming in here. Keep sleeping on the Broncos. You'll get waken up eventually. I think the Broncos are going to be good. I don't think they're going to be the best team in the AFC West by any means. I think that division is just loaded top to bottom. That is definitely the best division in football. There's no doubt about it. Between the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and the Chargers, Russell Wilson and the Broncos, and then Derek Carr. Is Derek Carr the worst quarterback in that division? Maybe. But does he have a chance to win that division? Hell yes. Come on. Let's see. I'm leaving. Matthew, why are you leaving? Matthew, why are you leaving? Matthew, why are you leaving? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you think Derek Carr is worse than any quarterback the Steelers have. Mitch and Carr in the same level. No. Mitch and Derek Carr. Rondo, you can't tell. Mitch and Derek Carr. Rondo, I swear you come on here half the time just to say stupid shit. That's not even close to being true. Come on, Rondo. That's not close to being true. Bucks versus Rams, NFC Championship. Wouldn't surprise me. I think the Rams get back. No, it's so hard to repeat and get back, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think the Bucks can be there. If anyone can do it, if you don't want to bet against one person, it's Tom Brady. That's the one person in football you should not bet against. Tom Brady, especially at this point in his career. He's still slinging at 45 years old. He's got one more season probably before his wife breaks up with him, so he's near. His wife divorces him, so he better get it done this year. Okay, come on, bro. Usually got some nice takes, but Mitch and Carr, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Mitch, Derek, yeah, they're not on the same level. No way you said Mitchell Trubisky and Derek Carr on the same level. Nerfies today. There we go. We got the Nerfies today coming up. First game's at 2:30, I believe. I mean, I put a sprinkle on the Raiders. There you go, Das. I think at plus 700 to win that division, you can't not put a sprinkle on it. So anyways, guys, keep your comments coming in the chat. We got a few topics to discuss today. First things first, the draft bust shine across the final day of cuts in the NFL. Now, speaking of the Raiders, they've drafted so poorly over the past few years. They got rid of their starting right guard from a season ago, Alex Leatherwood. They waived him. So he will not be playing for the Las Vegas Raiders. Someone will most likely pick him up. Again, he was a first-round draft pick, but they tried to trade Leatherwood to every single team in the NFL, and they couldn't do it. He was a consensus All-American. And this just shows right here how much they really didn't want Leatherwood. They took a $7.9 million cap hit just to get rid of him, which is crazy to me. What do you guys think about Leatherwood getting cut? Also, another notable cut was Josh Rosen, 2018 first rounder by Arizona. It's amazing Josh Rosen's still playing in the NFL. I mean, he's been here, then he's there, then he's there, then he's sitting in the bleachers at a game during the COVID season. He's just all over the place. How does he still have a job? I get he was a first-round draft pick, but this kid came out of school highly touted. Like, people were like, I'm in love with Josh Rosen. This man will not have a job very soon in the NFL. It wouldn't surprise me if he does not get picked up. He's 3-13 as a starter. Arizona, Miami, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, and Atlanta. When you see like who he's worked under in all these places, he worked under Tom Brady. He worked under Tua, I guess. He worked under Jimmy G. He worked under Matt Ryan. He's worked under really, really good quarterbacks. He just hasn't found a way to become a good quarterback. So what do you guys think of that? He literally had Waller, and that's it. How about the kid from Washington already back in the team facility? It's amazing. I didn't hear he was back in the team facility, but that is amazing to me. It's a sad story. But it opens up the door for Antonio Gibson if you want to get some early fantasy action for him run the football a little more. Trubisky hasn't had the weapons. If given Derek Carr's place, he'd produce just like him. Heart of a lion. Listen, Trubisky led the Bears to the playoffs. He wasn't terrible. He's not. I wouldn't call Trubisky a bust. I think just because he's been with 3 teams in his career so far, people consider him bust. He's still. You think he's 5 games over 500 as starting quarterback. So he's a talented quarterback. But did he deserve that first round grade? Probably not. Raiders finished 4th in the AFC West. But for plus 700, man, I think that's worth a sprinkle, honestly. Anyone can win that division. That division's going to be 12-5, 11-6, 10-7, and then 9-8. That's what I think that division's going to look like, honestly. No, keep Akers. How do you feel about Akers? Should I trade him in your fantasy league? No, I would definitely keep Cam Akers. I would 100% keep Cam Akers. Speaking of Cam Akers, we go back to a former Ram, Sony Michel. He was cut as well from the Niners, I believe. Let's see. Sony Michel, Chargers. I mean, no. Who was he cut by? Sony Michel. He's visiting with the Chargers. Rams. He may be back in Los Angeles this year with the Rams. Last, let's see, was released by the Dolphins. My bad. Released by the Dolphins. Everyone telling me that's the worst pick I made. I don't think it's the worst pick, but I wouldn't get rid of him. I mean, running backs are still very valuable. I can look up his fantasy grade right now. Fantasy football. I would keep Akers. All right, let's see. Well, it depends on what round you got him in too. Like that's what it comes down to as well. If you drafted him in with your first pick, yeah, this probably wasn't a great decision. Cam Akers, tier 4 running back. I mean, he's in the back of the pack for sure, but he's still going to get number 1 key. He's still going to get, primary carries there. I got Akers, Fournette, and JT. That's a great running back roster. If you have Fournette and JT, I mean, that's unreal. So you must have drafted first, I'm assuming. Comments rolling in here. There's no way all AFC West teams make the playoffs, right? No chance all of the AFC West teams will not make the playoffs. No chance of that. But, I mean, you definitely get a few in there. I got him round 4. I don't love the pick. But I mean, I don't hate it. I don't really love it though. No, but still, you need running backs. Panthers and Chargers money line week 1. I love the Panthers week 1. I think they get the job done. So, anyways, guys, cuts. Alex Leatherwood was a big name cut. Josh Rosen was a big name cut. Surprisingly, Rosen is not going to be on the Cleveland Browns. They take a lot of misfits, including Deshaun Watson. So Jacoby Brissett will be the starter, and then Joshua Dobbs will be the backup, who had a really good training camp, which pretty much forced Rosen out. Matter of fact, no, it can't happen. Just thought about it. There you go. But anyways, guys, so let's move into the Cowboys. We talked a good amount about the Cowboys at the beginning of the show, but I want to hear your thoughts on will they go over or under 10.5 wins. I think the biggest thing holding them back is the receiving core. It's their offensive line as well. But Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat. And whenever a coach is on the hot seat, they usually don't respond. Adversity, makes someone go one of 2 ways, right? They can either go forward, they can go backward. I feel like Mike McCarthy is not going to be able to go forward because of the constraints around him. His team is not that good. The Cowboys didn't do enough in the offseason, and they have a lot of issues in that division because the Eagles are right on their tails. What do we think? Way under. Everyone's going with the under. We got under, way under, way under. Cowboys under 9 wins at best, 7 wins, 8 max. McCarthy is a joke of a coach. And it's amazing because everything that the Cowboys do, literally everything, the smallest mistake that the Cowboys make, everyone's calling for Mike McCarthy. Cowboys fans already have Sean Payton lined up to be the head coach of that football team in a year. I think Mike McCarthy doesn't make it through the whole season. I guess the bigger question we should be asking now that everyone's saying the under is, when is Mike McCarthy going to be no longer the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? That could definitely be the thing. Anyone a Cowboys fan in here? Is anyone a Cowboys fan? Let me know. It's going to be 11 or 12 win team in the AFC West that won't make the playoffs. That's crazy. I agree. It's going to be insane. Baker Mayfield's going to pick apart the Browns. Nice revenge game to start the season. I agree with that. They can make the playoffs, 4 divisional winners and 3 wild cards. I guess you're right. I just don't see that happening. I think one team will get in there, not out of the AFC West. If the whole AFC West made the playoffs, that would be remarkable. Cowboys going to start out good, be 6-2, then crumble. Well, they will get Michael Gallup back. If they start out hot, they're going to be in better shape because they'll have Gallup coming back. Peyton's still pulling strings for the Saints. He could be doing something for the Saints. But I think Sean Payton will probably be the next head coach of this team. Mike McCarthy is outcoached himself. He's made so many stupid decisions over the years. And on top of that, they don't have the best team in the world. They have a good team. I mean, they had the best offense in football last year, but efficiency-wise, they're not great. They make stupid mistakes. I think Mike McCarthy is the biggest thing holding this team back right now, including, their offensive line, their receiving core, and their defensive backs occasionally, right? But a great coach can fix that, and I just haven't seen Mike McCarthy do it, and I really haven't seen much out of Jerry Jones. I think his general managing has not been the best. So there's a lot of issues with this Cowboys team. So everyone's going with the under. I absolutely love that. Cowboys have no offensive line. Yo, what's up, my brother? What's up, ATL boy? How the F you worth $8 billion and don't get more superstars? You know what's crazy? So I was listening to the radio this morning, and the cap hits. Like in a week, every team has to be under the salary cap, right? And you have to have a certain amount of room so you can sign people during the season. Like the Jets and the Giants are way over the salary cap. They're like $4 million over the salary cap, which is crazy. It just shows how bad they've drafted, how poorly they've drafted. The Dallas Cowboys, though, like you said, they're America's team. You got Jerry Jones, you got all the resources. You got a team that's willing to spend a ton of money on great players, on great coaches, on great player performance, personnel, right? And they just haven't been able to get the job done. It's kind of like the Yankees. Like the Cowboys is that team that we know is going to be okay during the regular season, then fall apart. That's what it's come down to with this team. And it's sad to say, but this team will not win a Super Bowl. And if you think that's going to be the case, I'm sorry. Nope, you can't put a D-Hop, the only Cards receiver. He's suspended. Who is throw to? M. Brown, Andy Isabella, Zach Ertz. Well, Ertz is going to be huge. Marquise Brown. And honestly, Hollywood Brown should have been suspended too for his criminal speeding charge. Jaguars week 1 versus Washington. I think Washington probably wins that game. That's one that I'll stay away from. Rangers plus a half first 5. Don't hate that, Dylan. That's why the Rams still can afford stuff. There we go. I watched the whole video on it. Yeah, it's amazing some of these bad teams, Brad. I don't know if you've heard anything, but these bad teams like the Jets, the Giants, just how poorly they've drafted because they all get these first round picks. So they have these mega deals and then they don't draft well. They don't sign players well. And it's just terrible. It's terrible. There's teams that probably shouldn't be in the NFL. But anyways, guys, so Cowboys wise, we talked a good amount at the beginning of the show. Oh, their quarterback situation, I think something else to note. I was listening to the radio this morning. People were calling in, Cowboys fans. We don't have a backup quarterback. We don't have a backup quarterback. Well, calm down. The Patriots did this last year with Mac Jones when they fired every quarterback. They're going to sign someone back. Cooper Rush is expected to re-sign with the team and assume his role as the backup again. Since he's a veteran player and he's got like 4 years of service time, he can automatically come back to the Cowboys as long as he chooses not to sign with anyone else. They also could get Will Grier if he returns, possibly on the practice squad if he clears waivers. So the Cowboys will have a backup quarterback. A lot of people were not happy with that move, and they were all calling in. They said, we don't need Mike McCarthy. We don't need Mike McCarthy. Well, that's not Mike McCarthy's. They're going to have a backup quarterback. There's no way the Dallas Cowboys would go into a season without a backup quarterback, especially with the injuries to Dak Prescott in the past. Okay, Rangers plus a half. We got that. Yes, guys, Rangers plus a half. We have that Nerfy coming up at 2:30 or 2:15 today. I don't know if I'm going to be live for that. If I am, great. If I'm not, we will see. But Nerfy at 2:15 for that Rangers game. And then finally, guys, I wanted to spend a little time discussing the NFL award winners. Jared Goff looking good. I think the Lions could do something special against the Eagles week 1. What do you guys think? Can they cover the spread week 1? It's like 3.5, and it's continuing to drop down. That means more and more people are on the Lions. If you got it when it opened, I think it opened at 6.5. It's coming down pretty quickly. So make sure if you like the Lions week 1, you get on it sooner rather than later. Mike Davis, RB1 for the Ravens, or J.K. Dobbins. I think it's going to go either way. I think more likely J.K. Dobbins, but I think it's going to be more split carries. Rangers, Astros, Nerfy, got to have it. We need it. We need it early today. Hot take, the Giants beat the Cowboys week 3. If the Cowboys start like 1-1 and then they lose to the Giants in week 3, I think Mike McCarthy could be going. Now, is it likely the Giants beat the Cowboys once this year? It's possible. It's possible, right? It's tough to beat teams twice in the NFL, but you never know. Lions -3. You're going reverse spread, alternate spread there, taking them at -3. That's pretty ballsy. I'd go 2.5 if you're going to do that. Be a Bulldog, Shark Life, Steph. I love it. My one fear about the Lions -3, Brad, week 1, I don't think they have the firepower, offensive firepower at least, to score points. So they got to keep teams off the board, which they got Dan Campbell, fiery coach. I think they're going to be able to run the football well. I think they're going to be able to play great defense. But if you can't score, like Jared Goff's not going to throw the deep ball. He's not going to hit shots down the field. It's a play action game with running the football as well. And DeAndre Swift, he kind of scares me as a running back. He does. DeAndre Swift is not the best fantasy back in the world to have because there's just so many issues with this Lions offensive line, their line, their ability to run the football. Top five O-line now. I don't think the Detroit Lions have a top 5 offensive line by any means. Last year they ranked 12th in football. I mean, if they're hovering around top 10, that's going to be good, but I still think there's going to be so many issues there because their inability to do some things on offense, like throwing the ball, like taking some deep shots, going over the middle, that inability is really going to hurt them this year. Rangers, Astros over 7.5. Yeah, I'd probably lean over on that 7.5. I mean, even with Javier on the bump. Who's your top 3 MVP candidates? We're going to talk about that in a minute. St. Brown will be a top 10 receiver this year. Bet it. There we go. 7.5. Yeah, I'd probably lean over on that. Watch and learn Lions for some good reason play better against good teams. They do, and I think I'm going to be on the Lions a lot this year as dogs. I mean, they were great against the spread last year, except the one game when I needed them to win. I think that was against the Denver Broncos when they got just blown off the field. But I think the Lions will be very good against the spread this year. Are they going to win games? That's the big test. Is Dan Campbell going to come in and be able to change the culture and have them win on the money line for us? I don't know. Can they cover? Yeah, I think they can play teams tough. But there's a difference between covering spreads and winning football games. A great team can go out and win a football game they're supposed to win. A bad team's just going to cover the spread if they're in a position to win games as a dog. Everyone healthy for them. Hard Knocks at home -3. I'd take +3. I wouldn't. I wouldn't get greedy. If you're going to take the Lions, take them on the money line. Take the plus money. I don't think you need to bring the points into it. Best early MLB bet: Nerfy in the Rangers game. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Number 4 coming in here. NFL awards. So we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL awards today. Someone asking about my top 3 MVP candidates. I think you got to look at Josh Allen, number 1. The hype is real around Josh Allen. He was efficient last year. He can run the football. He's going to carry the ball as much as like a running back too, which is pretty impressive for a quarterback. He's going to take hits. Can he stay healthy? We've seen him be able to stay healthy because of his body size, but it does scare me that he's running the football. Patrick Mahomes is a guy we know who's going to stay healthy. I think he's going to be right up there, but losing Tyreek Hill is definitely going to hurt him. So I think that drops him down a little bit on my list. My number 2 candidate right now is Justin Herbert. Now, at Cold Hard Football Facts, we predicted Herbert to be the MVP this season. He threw for over 5,000 yards last year. We expect him to throw for over 5,000 again. And then I think you honestly got to look at Tom Brady as well. So those will be my top 3. Brady, Brady, Allen, and Justin Herbert. Brady's got a great receiving core. And that, I mean, even if you're getting rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds, put the ball in space, make your receivers make plays, and have them go out and do the dirty work for you. You don't have to take a lot of shots. You can get the ball on quick slants. You can fire it in the open areas, and Tom Brady's going to be able to read defenses and do that. What do you guys think? Let me know. Stafford for MVP. I don't even think Stafford's a top 5 MVP candidate. I don't think he's close. I think you got to go Aaron Rodgers in there. I think you got to put Patrick Mahomes in the top 5. I think you got to put Joe Burrow in the top 5. I mean, I like Stafford better than like Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott, but I still think MVP, that's a little too much. Now, Stafford did post a video of him throwing the ball like 100 yards. I think that was a little bit of a hardo move. What do you guys think? I would be on the Astros today, but again, it's not one that I'm playing unless I feel like live betting after my nerfy cashes because it's already written. They won't give it to Rodgers. Yeah, I agree. They won't give it to Rodgers again for a 3rd year in a row. There's only been one quarterback to ever do it. It's Brett Favre, but he's still got to be up in the list. I mean, the thing about the quarterback position, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the postseason and he leads the league in passing and touchdowns and all that, which who knows if he will or not. He lost Devontae, but he can still make a team look good without Devontae. If he does that, he will be, I mean, he has a chance to win the MVP, right? You can't deny it. Like if he's here and everyone else is here, he's going to win it. Now, if they're equals, if like Aaron Rodgers is a smidge above someone else, they're probably not going to give it to Aaron Rodgers for the 3rd year in a row. Allen Robinson here now. We all stay healthy. Stafford MVP. Stafford to win MVP is plus 1,400 right now, so 14-1. I don't think that's a terrible bet. I don't think it's a great bet, though. Matthew Stafford coming off the Super Bowl last season, already had the elbow injuries this year. Is he going to be good? Yes. I think Cooper Kupp's going to be good, too. I don't think he's going to lead the league, in the Triple Crown this year. Check his stats from last year on his first time with a great team. I think guys, it's so hard to get back to the Super Bowl and win it. And for Stafford to win the MVP, he's got to be in a position to take this Rams team back to the Super Bowl. So I don't see it as much, but again, if you look at the NFL and you say the NFL is quote unquote rigged, it's not rigged, but if you look at the NFL and you got guys who, you got like someone who the league wants to win the MVP, it's Justin Herbert because they need that new golden boy coming up. So if you want to go with someone because like you think there's a narrative around it, it's probably the Justin Herbert narrative. Higgins plus Jacobs for Saquon. Elijah Moore, thoughts? Higgins plus Jacobs for Saquon and Elijah Moore, thoughts? I think that's a liability. I'd rather have Josh Jacobs with their offensive line. So, no, I don't trust Saquon as much because of the offensive line around him. I love T. Higgins. I think Joe Burrow is going to be able to spread the field around. So, I don't love that trade. No, what do you guys think of that one? Jay Dre's trades? Let me know in the comments. Rodgers wins back-to-back and can't get out of the first round. He's got to be in a position to go. He's got to be in a position to go do something special, in my opinion, for Matthew Stafford to win it. Rodgers, I don't know. Rodgers was a rarity. Rodgers just had a tremendous season. I mean, Matthew Stafford's got to lead the league in passing. I don't think he's going to do that. I mean, Rodgers' numbers were so good last year. They've been so good over the past 2 seasons. I don't think Stafford's going to have those numbers. They'll give it to Brady. That's probably a smarter thing, too. They could give it to Brady again if Brady's up there. Like, if it's Stafford, Brady, Rodgers, they're going to give it to Brady most likely in his last season for his farewell. It's already written. I agree. I'm going to go Mahomes for MVP. I don't love Mahomes to win MVP. I think Tyreek Hill, that loss is going to hurt him. Again, it's still Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs should have a better run game this year, which will be exciting to watch. So I think that's going to take a few reps away from Patrick Mahomes. We've seen it. He gets happy feet in the pocket down the stretch. We saw it last year against the Cincinnati Bengals. Does Brady pop off again, team money? I think Brady has a very good season. Is it going to be as good as we've seen from him? I don't know. I mean, offensive line-wise, they're having some issues there. But if he can get the ball in space to his receivers and let them go out and make plays, I think he's going to be in good shape. I mean, his receiving core is unreal. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers by far have the best receiving core in the NFL. So if he can get the ball to those guys, they could have some success. Chiefs have a lot of weapons still. Tyreek is a distraction. I don't disagree with that, Mamba Mania. I really don't. But I do think Tyreek still can make plays that other guys can't because of his speed. Cleveland and Cards, moneyline parlay. I like it. There you go. Chiefs have weapons, LO. The Chiefs do have weapons. They don't have Tyreek Hill, but they still have weapons. I mean, at least you look at the Chiefs receiving core. It's still not terrible. Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez, Scantling, McCole Hardman. McCole Hardman was he's probably one of like top 5 fastest guys in the NFL. You got Travis Kelce as receiver number 1. Not everyone has that tight end who can be a receiver number 1 caliber guy. So that's going to add a lot of weapons. Chief have weapons. There you go. Juju and Jackson just going to dance. McCole Hardman's probably going to be huge in the slot, and Travis Kelce is going to be awesome. They're going to have a better run game as well. Every receiver who has left Mahomes' career has gone downhill. I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to be. Tyreek Hill is literally fast. He's very, very fast. I don't think he's going to be as successful playing for the Miami Dolphins. I do not. Sky Moore is going to be good, rookie wide receiver there as well. Yep, Sky Moore is going to be sitting behind Juju Smith-Schuster, so he'll probably be their number 4 receiver. Who had the worst offseason? I think the Cowboys. Cowboys genuinely had the worst offseason. They didn't do a damn thing. I think they were relying on the NFC East being bad. And the Eagles made plays and they moved up with A.J. Brown. So we'll see what happens. I think the Cowboys did. Bears, the Bears, I don't blame the Bears as much of what they did in the offseason because they have a new regime in there. They have a new coach. They have a new GM. They have a new front office, right? So it's definitely a little harder for them. Like the Cowboys are an established team. And they just said, we're going to win the division no matter what because the Eagles aren't going to do a thing. And they did. So we'll see what happens. But the Cowboys overall, I'd say were worse because of that. Lamar or Herbert as MVP. I don't see Lamar winning MVP at all. I really don't. I don't even see Lamar being close. Tyreek is a freak, but I can throw better than Tua. It's crazy. Tyreek came out and said Tua is the guy, like when it comes to accuracy. No wide receiver, literally. Steelers top 10 wide receiver and top 10 tight end. Rajon, there we go. Rajon disappears. He comes back to talk about the Steelers. Your thoughts on the Colts this year? I think the Colts will win the AFC South. I think the Titans will give them a little trouble, but the Colts should get the job done behind Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he's fantastic. I think Matt Ryan's going to be perfect in the play action game. I think it's going to lead to a good amount of points. So I do think they win at -125 for a future bet. I don't see the value of it as much. That's the thing with the Cowboys and their fans. They'll always be happy with winning the division. No, I think the fans Jerry wants a Super Bowl. The fans want a Super Bowl. It's like the Yankees. It's no big deal to win the American League East. They want a World Series. Jets going to win the Super Bowl. Mark, you get out of here with that. You better just hope the Mets win the World Series. That's your only chance of getting a title in Queens and the Meadowlands or whatever. But the Jets are not going to win the Super Bowl. I was playing a kid on Madden last night who was playing as the Jets. They were actually pretty good, but I mean, that's not reality. Then they wonder why they lose playoff games because they play against good teams. Jets going to win the Super Bowl. Mark, you get out of here with that. Come on now, because they don't do anything. I agree with that, Brad. I totally agree with that. So anyways, guys, that's the show for today. We can talk about other position groups tomorrow, other MVP award winners tomorrow as we go through. I think when it comes to like the comeback play of the year, there's a lot of value there for betting. I think Christian McCaffrey is definitely the front runner for that, in my opinion, at +950. You could also go with Jameis Winston or Derrick Henry. Mac Jones, overrated. I don't think Mac Jones is overrated. I'm interested to see what he's going to do this season. I mean, we know what Mac Jones is. He's a system quarterback that's going to be able to spread the football around and make plays. Now, is he going to light up the stands with his amazing, 90-yard touchdown pass? Probably not, but he's a good system game manager. And I think the biggest issue for the Patriots is who's calling the plays this year over anything. Jags winning the Super Bowl. Get out of here with that return to Saxville, just like Jimmy G. Ella, I'm out on the Jags win the Super Bowl. Bro, T-Law Magic, get out of here with that. Do you think that higher point spreads equal to what? Do you think that higher point spreads equal? Do I think higher point spreads equal teams? In the NFL, I do. Yeah, I think higher point spreads do even. I mean, that's what the spread's for. It's to make up the difference in talent. And I do think the higher point spreads, favor the underdogs in the NFL. Because the NFL, guys, different than college. Like, I bet on Wyoming against Illinois. Wyoming and Illinois, the caliber of kids is so much different. But in the NFL, anyone can win on any given day. In college, it's a little different. Betting an under in those games total. Do you think higher point spreads equal unders? Not necessarily, because the favorites can light the scoreboard up and the underdogs can still score. I mean, there's all these different trends and stuff that, how you associate totals and spreads. But in the end of the day, it's a case-by-case basis. You think Dodgers tonight? For value, I'm taking Dodgers. High-scoring baseball games today. I sure hope not. I have 2 Nerfies. When you see Sky Moore and you start thinking Steve Smith, remember that moment. Okay, remember this moment. I will, Mamba Mania. Saw someone say that. I mean, I'm sure there's trends like that. I don't, I got to go find them more so. But if they have a higher point spread, unders might be the move. Comeback player of the year, Henry or J.K. Dobbins, MVP Stafford, defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald, offensive player of the year, Brady. I don't hate it. Stafford winning MVP, I don't love. Defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. If he doesn't swing helmets at people, maybe. Coach of the year, Dan Campbell. I could see Dan Campbell winning coach of the year, but they got to win football games. You can't cover the spread and be coach of the year. I know it's the NFL, but we think about Serena, the GOAT, at plus 205. I like that. I like Serena to win. Is that for tonight's match? Again, me wrong. Women's matches. Is that tonight for Serena? Or is that just her overall? Plus 215 tonight against Annette Konovic. Isn't Stafford hurt? Stafford's always hurt. Brad, why are you saying if Stafford's always hurt? Why is he going to be MVP? What Nerfy we riding? We're riding that first game Nerfy, guys, Texas, and we're also riding Boston Nerfy later. I will not be live for Boston Nerfy. I might be live for that Texas Nerfy at 2:15, maybe. Big if. I'm not totally sure yet, guys. Most likely, I will not be live, but I'm not totally sure yet. But we're going to play that no matter what. I'm saying he plays hurt. Oh, no, he got hurt with the Lions once, and everyone was all over him. There you go. All right, well, everyone's on Matt Stafford, so we're going to stop debating this in the comment section because we got to sign off here and get on with the day. But I appreciate you joining me for the Cold Hard Football Facts Show. Make sure you go up, check the link out in the bio. You can see Cold Hard Football Facts, what we're all about there on the website. You can also follow me on all my social media handles. I appreciate you joining me for the show, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with a little noon NFL talk, and then we'll get into our Win the Day at 10 a.m. as well for just general betting talk, sports talk, baseball talk, all that good stuff. What's a Nerfy? Nerfy, no runs first inning. Tanner, believe me on the lines. I'll believe you. Sports are rigged. Ask Tim Donnie. There you go. Learning you are. Who's your MVP this year? My MVP would be Justin Herbert or Tom Brady. I haven't made that decision yet, but it would be one of those two guys. But anyways, guys, we're going to sign off here. Hope everyone has a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow for another episode of the Cold Hard Football Facts Show.
Yeah, ain't shit sweet, ain't shit funny. Look, it's blue tints on my 100.